everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, our kittens turned 1 moon old. They opened up their eyes, we got to see them a little bit better, and all of them look absolutely adorable. One of them, guys, looks so much, this is Ghost Kit, who's hanging out with his brother in the nursery right now. He looks so much like Bear Pelt. He's got a similar coat, he's got like the same eyes. Not only that, but Bear Pelt was fearless when he was a kitten, and so is Ghost Kit, which is really funny and interesting because they're not related in any way, shape, or form. That aside, we got to know a little bit more about the destiny of Hound Kit, the younger sister of the two boys we were just talking about, of Ghost Kit and his brother, Fox Kit. So she, as the only female in the clan right now, who hasn't obviously had a litter of her own, I mean, she's just a young one, but as the only female, royal female, with the capacity to do so in the future, she's going to be raised, like, knowing that as soon as she hits young adulthood, she's going to be paired up with someone, and the clan is going to be expecting a little from her. So yeah, she's going to be growing up very, very quickly, I feel. So without further ado, let us dive into the leader's den to see how things are going to go. Right, let's roll the dice to see how King Fernstar's going to handle the next gathering. Okay, I have a 6 on the D10, which is Ice Clan, and a 2 on the D8, which is Offend. And usually, I feel like with the bloodthirsty Ice Clan, they don't get too offended by our offending. They kind of view it as a symbol of strength and want to become friends with us. So let's skip a moon and see what happens. Royal Clan does not have enough healthy medicine cats. Cats will be sick/hurt for longer and have a higher chance of dying. Royal Clan doesn't have enough prey for the next moon, which means we need to focus on hunting. King Fernstar casts aspersions about Ice Clan's border strength during the gathering, and his chagrin to an Ice Clan's leader agrees that Ice Clan should patrol more regularly, thanking Fernstar for the suggestion. So Ice Clan relations have improved. Icicle Speck gazes up into Silver Pelts and finds that finally the grief has begun to lessen. Yellow Cough has killed Shadefleck. Has killed Shadefleck. Oh no, no, no. Not only is Bear Pelt going to be heartbroken because I'm pretty sure he's in love with Shadefleck, and they just got together recently, but guys, think about Scorchmoss. Think about Scorchmoss. He was the only child she had left. She lost her mate, Watergale, he died. She lost her second love, Flailstorm, because he was in love with someone else. She lost her daughter early on. She lost her favorite son, and now she has lost her last remaining son. And none of her children were able to have litters of their own. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that means those bloodlines die with them. The past moon, Shadefleck has taken their place in Star Clan. Royal Clan mourns their loss, and their clanmates will miss the spot they took up in their lives. Moments of their life are shared in stories around the circle of mourners, as those that were closest to them take them to their final resting place. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. I feel terrible for Scorchmoss. Somehow she's powering through. I mean, she is the king's right hand, so she probably recognizes that the clan as a whole needs her to keep it together. Oh my goodness. And Bear Pelt, he was already in mourning from losing his mother, and then he loses his mate? That is so tough. That is so tough. Okay, let's check out the medicine cat den. Icicle Speck gazes up. Okay, his grief goes away. Shadefleck was given lungwort as treatment for yellow cough, but it wasn't enough because he passed away. Rosemary was used for Shadefleck's body. Inkfeather was given ragwort as treatment for recovering from birth. Oh no. Let's see if we can get a timeline for what happened maybe before he died. It's very possible that he didn't really have any interactions and he stayed in the medicine cat den. Okay, Frostpaw stands up for King Fernstar during a patrol. King Fernstar, Scorchmoss, and Inkfeather had a nice talk while eating. King Fernstar and Quillpaw reach for the same piece of prey and bicker over it. Quillpaw gets it. Scorchmoss wants to be closer to Icicle Speck. Scorchmoss gets a bunch of cats up, which includes her son, Shadefleck, for morning stretches, and none of them really like it. Hound, probably, for Shadefleck, I mean, he's still recovering and still sick, and maybe Scorchmoss felt as though some exercise would do him good. But honestly, he was coughing so much, he just wanted to rest. Houndkit's words of comfort mean more to Scorchmoss than she knows, and I think Scorchmoss got really worried because Shadefleck's cough was getting really bad. But Houndkit, the little Houndkit, was the one who went up to Scorchmoss and tried to comfort her. Houndkit, who is usually unruly, but had enough sense to notice that something was amiss. Icicle Speck got tricked into doing one of Inkfeather's chores. Icicle Speck purrs as Foxkit asks him to show him how to do a hunter's crouch. He obliges, happy to show his skills. Flailstorm includes Quillpaw in a conversation that Quillpaw struggled to join. Flailstorm wants to ask a clanmate to eat with him, but they're busy with Shining Stripe. Icicle Speck says he hopes Smokewater has a nice day. A clanmate that Smokewater wants to get to know better is already friends with Houndkit. King Fernstar tells Shining Stripe that he was worried for him. Ghostkit thanks Shining Stripe for bringing him food. Flarefreckle pretends not to see Flailstorm cough up a hairball. Flarefreckle and Houndkit notice a cloud is shaped like a star. Okay, so these two, I'm pretty sure, are the ones who had an interesting kind of sign in the last episode where the clouds parted and the sun was shining down on them. And Flarefreckle decided that she wanted to take on Houndkit as an apprentice when the time comes, and Houndkit felt the same way about Flarefreckle. So these two, she-cats who had a similar... Flarefreckle, who had the kind of upbringing that Houndkit will have, except probably not as extreme as Houndkit's, probably feels a responsibility to help prepare her for that eventuality. Bearpelt poses a crazy theory to Quillpaw, and they chat about it for a while. Okay, Bearpelt and Quillpaw. So uncle and nephew, but not mentor and apprentice. Ghostkit brings Bearpelt herbs from the medicine den for a headache. That's really sweet of him. Inkfeather asks Scorchmoss if there's something in her teeth. Inkfeather points out a nice rock for Foxkit to sharpen his claws on, so it's a mother-son bonding time. Inkfeather purrs for a long time at one of King Fernstar's lame jokes, yet their relationship is getting better and better with each passing moon, especially as their kids are nice and healthy and growing up. Quillpaw cheers Shining Stripe up after a small disagreement. Oh, that's cute. So he is spending time with his uncle, and this time mentor as well. Probably because Shining Stripe is still... I think Quillpaw wants Shining Stripe to kind of, not get over it. That's kind of mean because his grandmother's the one who died, but to have enough sense of himself to at least be able to accompany Quillpaw on the patrols, or even, I think that's what he wants, to accompany on patrols, because he is falling behind and is a little bit worried. And Shining Stripe maybe had a small disagreement over that because Shining Stripe can't understand how Quillpaw isn't more distraught over his grandmother's death. So maybe that's what happened. But despite that, Quillpaw, he said, I wasn't that close to her. I might not feel as kind of broken by her death, but I understand that you are, and if you need more time, then, I'll figure myself out. Even though I would love for you to go on patrols with me, I'll try and get by somehow. Frostpaw includes Quillpaw in a conversation that Quillpaw struggled to join. Okay, so these two brothers are now spending time with each other, which is cute. I think Frostpaw was way ahead of training, maybe. Was talking to someone else about, maybe, who knows, could have been his mentor, could have been someone else, maybe talking about all of these kind of advanced techniques that he's been experimenting with, but Quillpaw, who's been lagging behind, maybe couldn't understand what's going on, and Frostpaw kind of filled his brother in, which was very considerate of him. Quillpaw lets Foxkit know that a clanmate was talking badly about him. When a clanmate passes by holding stinking herbs, both Ghostkit and Inkfeather gag. It's a mother-son bonding time. And who is Inkfeather's favorite? I think it's Ghostkit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is her favorite son. Houndkit wants to spend more time with Flailstorm, which is adorable. So that is all we have for the events. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. First up, we have loyalties, where nothing has changed, except for the loss of Shadefleck, because he was one of Fernstar's loyalists, and he did die a loyalist. So there is that. And in terms of relationships, let's quickly go through that. There's only one difference that I noted, which I will point out in a second. So for Fernstar, there wasn't really anything that changed here. Scorchmoss, nothing changed. Flailstorm, I didn't notice any sort of change. Icicle Speck, nothing significant over here. Inkfeather is the one who had a significant change. She, guys, has actually fallen in love with King Fernstar, finally. Finally. And I feel like this fits very much into what we were talking about, I think, in a previous episode, about how Inkfeather being loyal, but also, in a way, very hardy and ambitious. For her, like, all the feelings and all of this wasn't really important, right? But once she secured herself in the clan, in the grotto, through King Fernstar as his consort, then she kind of, we said that now that all of the basic things that she needed for security are out of the way and done, and her life in the grotto is never going to be threatened, now if she were to fall in love, she probably would do that with King Fernstar, since she's already tied to him and she is a loyal cat. You know, not only loyal to the king himself, but to their relationship. So that is what has ended up happening. She has slowly, through her devotion to Fernstar, with time, slowly started falling in love with him. And Fernstar hasn't yet fallen in love with Inkfeather, which is fascinating. I think at this point he has more feelings for Inkfeather than he did for Buttercupfin. But, you know, the Buttercupfin whole thing, it was like still lingering for him. And I think he's still been quite slow. He's been more attentive to Inkfeather because of the offspring and such, but I think he's going to be slow to get to a point where Inkfeather's at. I think he's so used to maybe not getting who he wants that he doesn't know what to do with someone who is entirely his. It's a bit strange, but yes, that's what we have for Inkfeather. Shining Stripe, I didn't notice anything too different. Flare Freckle didn't have any sort of major changes. Bear Pelts didn't have any major changes, but, you know, he was in love with his mate who has now passed on. So, yeah, we're gonna have to see how he deals with it when he finally gets out of his grief. Maybe we'll get more sense when we read events in the future. And he didn't get to really spend much time. Nobody did with, I think, Shadefleck, except for his mother. Scorchmoss had one interaction with Shadefleck where she tried to get him out of the medicine cat den to do some exercise, like some stretches, and he didn't really like it too much. He was like having a coughing fit, grumbling, went back into the medicine den, and she was worried. But that was the only interaction that kind of happened. Bearpelt didn't really get anything much with him. Quillpaw, our apprentice. Frostpaw, his younger brother. Smokewater, I didn't notice any significant changes with him. And then we have the kittens, Fox Kit, Ghost Kit, and Hound Kit. So this is all we have for the relationship panels. And since we don't have any matchmaking or anything to do, seems as though the matchmaker has like bounced back though, which is good to see. Let's go ahead and see what everyone's doing for the day. King Fernstar is batting at a beam of sunlight. Scorchmoss, took a long walk on her own to mourn Shadefleck in private. That's right. We did say that as the right hand, she knows that other cats are relying on her. She has too high a position and responsibility to leave everything and, you know, be grieving for her son, especially because the clan, you know, has way too many grieving cats right now for Buttercupfin. And we don't have food. We need hunters to go out and do things. The apprentices cannot be left on their own. So Scorchmoss, I think this is just a little bit of time she's allocating to herself to mourn Shadefleck, her final family member to leave her. This is so sad. Look at that, guys. Watergale left. All her children died from one thing or another, which is so heartbreaking. All her children died. Ay. Okay, Flailstorm can't stand this cold. Icicle Speck saw some wandering two legs today. Inkfeather is in the medicine cat den. Shining Stripe had a nice chat with a kitty pet. Flare Freckles slipped on some ice hidden under the snow. Bear Pelt bargains with StarClan, begging them to send Shadefleck back. That's right. I mean, he's still, like I said, grieving for his mother, and then this gets tacked on. Top of that, I don't think he can sink any further into his grief, but I think Bear Pelt, you know, being younger, being shameless, would definitely be more desperate in his cries for Shadefleck and not kind of accepting that Shadefleck is gone. Like, he would be more hysterical, I think, than Shadefleck's own mother. Quillpaw is staring off into space. Frostpaw practices his newest battle moves. See, he is always training. And I feel like Frostpaw, as a bold cat, kind of always finds a way. It's funny because his brother is actually more talented than him, but somehow he always finds a way to do really good. I think because he's bold enough to experiment, and his mentor has from the get-go allowed him to kind of find his own way, do whatever it is he wants to do. Whereas Quillpaw, you know, he's kind of loyal, and even though he's talented, I imagine he's the type of cat who likes following the direction of his mentor, and when his mentor is not there to guide him, he's a little bit unsure, and look at him, it's just staring off into space. He doesn't really know what to do. Smokewater is snoring in his sleep. Foxkit is feeling underappreciated. Foxkit. Foxkit. Ghostkit picks a fight with an apprentice so he can show his skills. Oh, that's adorable. I think Ghostkit is probably picking a fight with Frostpaw because Frostpaw is practicing his new battle moves. That's really adorable. And Foxkit, the one who actually likes fighting, I think is probably a little bit upset that Frostpaw isn't trying to practice battle moves with him because he's the more, you know, he's the brother who likes all of this action. Houndkit is frightened after hearing a scary story. Oh, Houndkit. So that's what we have for the cats. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with patrols. Okay, time for us to resume with patrols, send out our 4 cats to see if they can actually get us some food. We currently have 11.1 prey, we need 27.5, so things are not looking too great for us, and obviously we don't have a royal physician to go out and do anything, so... Oh, I forgot to check, sorry, the experience to see how the apprentices are going. And... Quillpaw's ahead! Hold on a second. Quillpaw has 21. Frostpaw has 18. Okay, so Quillpaw. Look at that. Look at that. I think this is where his, talent shows. Because we've said since he was young that Quillpaw's the more talented older brother, but he's a bit more reserved. And Frostpaw is the more bold and experimental one, but he has to work a lot harder than his older brother. But for once, it seems as though Quillpaw's talent is shining through, even though he's a little bit lost. He's, getting the hang of things a bit faster than his brother, which is interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and send these guys out. So Frostpaw, Quillpaw, Scorchmoss, and Fernstar. And I kind of like the idea that in events when we kind of saw that Quillpaw couldn't participate in a conversation and Frostpaw is the one who brought him in, and he was saying that Frostpaw was talking about new techniques and stuff, and telling them to his brother who wasn't understanding everything, but then I imagine Quillpaw got the hang of it really quickly. So okay, we'll send these guys out and on a hunting patrol, see if they can haul back some food. Frostpaw spots a rabbit up ahead, but it seems to be acting strange. The patrol can see its tremors from a few fox lengths away. Proceed. Frostpaw catches the rabbit, but later he and the cats who eat it become violently ill. Scorchmoss got poisoned, Frostpaw got poisoned, Inkfeather got poisoned. Oh no. No, Frostpaw! We were just trying to find some food. Not only did we not get food, but we had 3 poisoned cats. Oh no. Frostpaw's gonna start falling behind a lot because of that. And now Scorchmoss, we're down a hunter. Inkfeather was already trying to recover, but now she's poisoned too. Oh my goodness, things are not looking good, guys. Things are not looking good. Now the responsibility, even more so, is going to be on King Fernstar and Quillpaw, unless some of the cats can get out of grief, by the next moon, to provide food for the clan. At least everyone is going to have, a full belly. Everyone's going to be stuffed this moon, but not everyone's going to get food over the next moon. Yeah, only 3 warriors can be fed, so everyone else is gonna, and I don't know, they might give all the food to the kittens. We'll have to see. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, guys, well, with that said and done, I am gonna leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.